Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Broussard versus Broussard.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Mr. Broussard, you opened your case hoping the court will grant you a paternity test so you can prove you are not the father of 4-month-old baby Charles. You say your 1-year marriage to the defendant is on the verge of collapse because of paternity doubt, and you need this test to save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mrs. Broussard, you say your husband's refusal to accept the paternity of your son has left you devastated and your marriage in shambles. You claim your husband has no reason to deny he is your son's father and believe today's DNA results will back up your claim. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So this court must listen to all of the testimony and determine if there is enough evidence to order a paternity test. I'd like to start with you, Mr. Broussard. Why do you say your marriage is on the verge of collapse?
I say my marriage is on the verge of collapse due to the infidelity, the trust issues, and all the evidence, coincidence that I discovered.
And you need this test today because you're on the birth certificate.
Yes, I am.
You are this child's legal father.
Yes, I am.
But you need this test so desperately because if you are not the biological father of this child, you want to have your name removed from this birth certificate.
Correct.
So, Ms. Broussard, what's going on in the home?
He is so obsessed with my ex that he feels that I'm cheating on him every time I do something. We argue, we fight all the time. Me and him just are not getting along at all.
How long has it been this way?
Since the end of last year. There has been rumors going around in the neighborhood that we grew up that he is not the father of our child.
And so you have been talking to your wife about the fact that these are rumors. You believe the rumors, obviously.
Yeah, I believe them based off of my own stuff I had seen and questioned about what I had found.
Do you trust your wife? Answer the question.
No.
You don't. And why is that?
Everything I've found out, everything I've been through.
You submitted a chart to the court
Yes.
concerning how you have come to not trust your wife?
Yes.
Please step over to the exhibit and explain it to the court.
This is a chart I put together. This is the first reason why that gave me my doubt that little Charles is not mine. There was 2 glasses on my table. I just got off work, and basically I walked in, and the cups looked freshly poured. You still can see the water dripping off of it because it's going to room temperature. So I asked, like, why is there another cup here? She basically said, I don't know. I said, well, you had in my house then. She didn't know.
She said, I don't know?
Yes.
So, Ms. Broussard, why did you just say, I don't know? Who was in the house drinking the other martini?
They were not martinis, they were cups. And I had poured those cups for a family member that had came over my house who was taking medication.
Okay, so then when he says, how did the glasses or who are these 2 cups who was over here, why not just answer, my family member, I gave them some water so they could take their medicine, or I gave them something so they could take their medicine. Moving on.
Because I just didn't want to start an argument about having someone in the house.
If it's a family member, why do you have to say, I don't know? Why lie?
That's what I was
Because
thinking.
you do know who's in the house. All right, let's go to number 2.
It's been number 2. This is more towards the end of the month. And basically, we got an energy drink in there. I don't drink energy drinks. She don't drink energy drinks. Our kids don't drink them. So I'm like, who energy drink is this? She telling me I'm tripping. I don't know what I'm talking about. I throw it back in the refrigerator. A couple days later, it was gone. So I'm like, what's going? What happened to that energy drink that was in there? Oh, I don't know. I'm like, oh. So he grew legs and walked out.
Why respond, I don't know, Ms. Broussard? I don't understand.
Because I don't know where it came from.
That threw my second
I
down.
don't know
like,
where
she
the
messing with
energy
her
drink
egg.
came from. For all I know, he planted it there to act like this.
So the mysterious energy drink
Mysterious
Number three.
Number 3. The rumors. I am well known in my community, and I felt kind of disrespected when a child came to me and said the ex-boyfriend had told me that him and your wife are still communicating. They want to have a family, a baby together. They about to push you out the picture.
What?
Yeah, it blew my mind. So.
Well, see, that's the thing about kids, though. They'll tell it, honey. And so you heard that she was still talking to the ex and they was gonna push you out the picture.
And have a family.
And have a family. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So, Miss Broussard, do you know who this child is? And how would they get information about your ex?
No, I don't know nothing about no child. He never told me a child told him anything. But my ex was going around spreading rumors to make him upset.
So did you ever confront this ex, Mr. Broussard?
Oh, I did. He basically pointed the finger back at Helen.
And
When
what did
I
he
asked
say?
her about it, she basically telling me that she's not entertaining him. She answers little questions, it's real minor. When I talk to him, he's saying it's major. She's sexting him and trying to meet up with him, and
That is not true.
I'm just stuck in the middle, like who to believe?
No.
So, Miss Broussard, have you been in touch with your ex?
Not recently, no, but we did talk a couple times last year.
You did talk to him.
Yes.
About what?
Small stuff, him asking me how I'm doing.
All right, what's number 4?
Number 4 is a purple pickle.
Isn't that an eggplant? What does that mean?
Me and Helen was, I believe, in the living room watching TV on one of my days off from work. And her phone went off, so I vibrated, flashing and ding-a-ling. In the corner of my eye, I see a gentleman taking a picture with his gentleman in his hand, sending it to my wife.
So her ex basically sent a naked photo?
Yes.
Because this is from the ex.
Yes.
Miss Broussard, did your ex send you a naked photo?
Yes, he did.
And you don't tell him don't do that?
I do, but he's gonna do it anyways because he, like I said,
And
he
you
wants
don't
to
block
piss him
his
off.
number?
No.
So you see the picture, Mr. Broussard.
Yes.
And what do you say to your wife?
In the back of my mind, I was just like, everything's true. I'm at work, working hard, sweating. She at home creeping. I mean.
You can step back over to the podium now, sir. That exhibit was very enlightening. So how do you go from rumors, the pictures, to just being convinced she slept with her ex?
In August, I was away, and once I returned home, I seen Helen in the shower, and she had like handprints on her thighs, her buttocks, and I just looked at her.
Handprints, like you could see handprints.
Like he was slapping her lower half. So basically, she stepped out the shower. She told me like I slept with him.
Oh!
He just left.
So you admitted to your husband that you had slept with your ex in your house.
Yeah.
And you don't have no shame in it, huh?
But I slept with him after his ex called me telling me that they were having an affair too.
Oh, so the revenge sex.
Yes. I wanted him to feel just as hurt as I did.
Oh, Lord. You say this happened in August,
Yes.
No, it happened in December.
and the baby was born in April?
Yes.
All right. So that would put that right around the window of conception. So, Ms. Broussard, you said it was a different time?
Yes.
When did you say it was?
December.
Oh, you said it wasn't August, it was
No,
December.
I cheated on Charles when I was 5.5 months pregnant.
Ew. So, Mr. Broussard, you say it was August. How do you know it was August?
It was hot. I had a short sleeve on. I was sweating. It was hot. It was a hot month.
All right, so look, let me figure this out. I want to go back to the temperature in August. Where are you all from?
Sacramento.
Sacramento, California. All right. 2017, August, the temperature was 96, 79, 85, 91. As high as 97 degrees, which is hot.
Very.
And here is December. The actual temperature ranged between 30 degrees, pretty chilly, to 60 degrees. So, Mr. Broussard, you would not have been sweating if it was just 30 to 60 degrees.
No, I would not.
I don't remember him wearing no short sleeve, and I don't remember him sweating because that did not happen.
But the sex with your ex did happen.
Yes, that happened.
But you say you were already pregnant when that happened.
Yes, I was.
And so, Mr. Broussard, you would remember if you came home and asked your wife about handprints on her butt and on her body, if she was pregnant, would you not?
Yes, she was not pregnant.
But you believe, Mr. Broussard, that the ex is truly the father of her child.
Yes, I do.
So, Ms. Broussard, have you told your ex about baby Charles?
No.
He doesn't contact you anymore.
I don't call. He has no contact with me because I blocked him off of everything.
So now you've blocked him.
Yes.
When your husband talks about his paternity doubt, about your beautiful new baby, the fact that he looks at the baby with doubt, what does that make you feel like?
It hurts my feelings a lot because I know he's a father. He looks just like him. And I don't understand why he would doubt him. I can't control his mind.
have our Broussard features. That child clearly has a different face structure.
Do you feel like he looks like her ex?
Yes, he do.
No, he doesn't.
It's just messed up that an innocent child got put in the middle of it. I just want confirmation. I just want to be set at ease. Like, if this is my child, I can move forward and be the proper father and be at my best potential in his life.
Well, hearing the testimony today and the fact that there have been several instances that could lead to potential doubt surrounding Charles's paternity, I believe this court has heard sufficient evidence to order both of you to submit to DNA testing immediately following this hearing and return to this court to get the results. Are we clear?
Yes,
Yes, Your Honor.
I will see you back in this courtroom. Court is adjourned. We are reconvening in the case of Broussard versus Broussard. In the previous hearing, I heard testimony concerning the paternity of 4-month-old Charles Broussard, and this court determined there was sufficient evidence to order you to submit to DNA testing, and we've returned to this courtroom for the results today. Ms. Broussard,
Yes.
you testified in the earlier hearing that this has been wreaking havoc on your relationship.
It has. The detachment between them two is hard.
You say there's detachment between the baby and your husband.
Yes.
Explain.
Like, you know how you could just tell when somebody looks at someone that they just don't care? That's how he looks at them.
And as a mother, that has got to just...
Yeah, it hurts a lot. And I feel like he don't care because when he was born, he wasn't even at the hospital. He was in Vegas with his ex-girlfriend.
And I can see in your eyes, that hurts.
It does hurt.
Well, we're here now, and we have the results. And I think it's time that you finally know the truth. Jerome, may I have the envelope, please? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Broussard versus Broussard, when it comes to 4-month-old Charles Broussard, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Broussard, you are the father. How does it feel to hear that?
I feel a lot more better about the results. I still got love for him. As far as me and Helen go, you know, we have to work on our marriage and our differences. Pretty happy that this is my biological son.
And you understand now that the choices you've made, the choices you've both made, you cheated little Charles out of having a father there for his birth. Because y'all were off on some nonsense. If you want the marriage to work, you gotta work. And Dr. Jeff is here. We have counseling and resources to help you start figuring out how to do that. It's okay to admit that I don't know how to have a healthy relationship, because that's the first start to figuring out how to do it right and hopefully save the family, and so your children can grow up with both of you in the home, living happy, healthy lives. I wish you all the very best. Court is adjourned.
We're all gonna go out there and